Princeton University Press Audio presents Black Grief, White Grievance, The Politics of Loss by Juliet Hooker, read by Joana Garcia. This book is dedicated to Chris and Christian, my pandemic bubble buddies. Introduction. What is political loss? So many people have reached out to me, telling me they're sorry this happened to my family. Well, don't be sorry, 'cause this has been happening to my family for a long time, longer than I can account for. It happened to Emmett Till, Philando, Mike Brown, Sandra, and I've shed tears for every single one of these people that it's happened to. This is nothing new. I'm not sad. I'm not sorry. I'm angry. And I'm tired. I haven't cried one time. I stopped crying years ago. I am numb. I have been watching police murder people that look like me for years. I'm also a Black history minor, so not only have I been watching it in the 30 years that I've been on this planet, but I've been watching it for years before we were even alive. I'm not sad. I don't want your pity. I want change. Letitra Weidman. We're not backing down anymore. This is our country. January 6th, Insurrectionist. Loss is ubiquitous in U.S. politics and society today. Most glaringly, the global COVID-19 pandemic has visited untold losses worldwide. From the horrific death toll, which, as of this writing, surpasses 1 million in the United States alone and 6 million worldwide, to the economic devastation it has wrought, the lives disrupted and upended, the foreclosure of collective occasions to grieve the dead or be with loved ones, and even the smaller quotidian losses of being forced to dispense with tactile human contact. A handshake, a kiss on the cheek, a hug, because of physical distancing. The losses caused by COVID-19 continue to mount. At the same time, the pandemic and inadequate government responses to it have further exposed existing differential patterns of racial precarity. From the composition of the not until recently recognized as such essential workforce, which is dominated by women of color, to which groups have been disproportionately infected, hospitalized, and killed by the virus, Black, Latinx, and indigenous peoples, while others, mostly white, protest any government measures to curb the spread, such as mask mandates, to unequal access to vaccines, yawning racial and class disparities in the impact of the pandemic unequivocally demonstrate that we are not, in fact, all in this together, as politicians are wont to claim in moments of national crisis. Loss is widespread, but it is by no means evenly distributed. Some losses are also compounded. As the Washington Post noted, deaths from COVID-19 are causing gaps in grief, gaps that are tragically familiar. Black American Indian and Alaska Native communities suffer a higher bereavement burden given persistent disparities in life expectancy and mortality. At the same time, if the losses that accompany a global pandemic are made political by the disparate effects of state action and inaction, and the way existing inequalities exacerbate ostensibly natural disasters, other kinds of racialized losses that have indelibly shaped U.S. political development seemingly reached a critical inflection point during the Obama and Trump eras, with grave consequences for U.S. democracy. Black Grief, White Grievance analyzes the impact of loss on the political imaginations of citizens, as well as the civic practices they develop in response to it. As the paired epigraphs by Letitra Weidman and one of the thousands of January 6 insurrectionists powerfully illustrate, in the Obama and Trump eras, the two most important forces driving racial politics in the
Sample complete. Ready to continue?